Thank you, Madam President. Colleagues, just got to say I'm enjoying and appreciating the discussion. A lot of people were wary of what this discussion would look like and sound like today, but I think it's been, believe it or not, helpful and constructive. While there's a lot of areas of the budget, and specifically the budget plan that's before us, that I would comment on and have opinions on, I want to focus on one particular area for two reasons. One, because in my opinion, it is a state priority, and other, because I think it would shed light on the approach or the thinking that I hope translates into the budget process overall. And those specific areas are not just Health and Human Services as a whole, the CalWORKs proposals, but IHSS as well, if not especially. You know, the context here is not just, why the Health and Human Services, why the social safety net? I mean, the context here is collectively as a legislature and legislatures over time, chief executives of California over time, and the people of California through the ballot box have helped shape what areas of programs and services state government is in versus is not in. And I think it's important to recognize, because a lot of the conversations out there, a lot of the talk, a lot of maybe even the misperceptions of, well, we just can't afford this or we can't afford that. We have made choices over the years, for example, to say that public safety is a public priority. That's not something we're going to privatize from the policing of the streets to where we house our inmates. Public safety is a public interest, and we will find a way to afford that. Are there ways to deliver public safety and, let's say, state prisons, the housing of inmates, more effective and more efficiently? Absolutely, and we need to have those ongoing conversations. Public education is another one. We have made a collective decision as a society to say, while some people may opt to send their children to private school, we value a public education enough that we will find a way to make it available to any and every Californian who wants to send their child to public school. Can we, should we have conversations about how to deliver public education more effectively, more efficiently, more equitably? Absolutely. And we are having those conversations. But when it comes to the social safety net and what we choose to do for arguably the most vulnerable Californians, we have made that decision to offer that security, not only for those who have been and are beneficiaries of it, but because we have made the arguments and made the findings that it is in our collective best interest. So some people may suggest, well, we just can't afford it anymore. And if you are one of those, then maybe we just have a fundamental moral difference of opinion. If that moral obligation doesn't get you, let me share with you the fiscal arguments, because some people may be approaching what we do through state government as a business decision, as what's the return on our investment. I'll ditch the specific numbers for now, but we've shared it in committees and we've shared it on the floor year after year, how every dollar that goes into, be it CalWORKs or IHSS or other programs, reaps more than that single dollar back into economic activity. We've had the conversations. Let me remind all of us of how for every dollar we invest in CalWORKs, in IHSS, is leveraged more than that $1 back in federal funds, and if not, leveraged with local dollars as well, particularly county dollars. So cutting a single dollar out of a state budget doesn't make economic sense, let alone the moral nonsense that it represents. And layer on top of that, not just the ongoing billions of dollars on an annual basis that we receive from the federal government for the delivery of these programs and services, but in this snapshot of time specifically, the economic climate, the deep recession that we're all acknowledging, what it means for leaving federal dollars on the table that California is receiving through Recovery Act dollars and Emergency Contingency Fund dollars, literally billions of dollars that we would forego through some of the cuts that have been proposed in the governor's plan, in the Republican plan now, and in the upcoming years. I would plead with all of you on the moral obligation argument for keeping these programs, if not strengthening these programs. But if that doesn't appeal to you, I would argue the economic sense, the business sense that these investments have made. Please take that to heart. Please keep that in mind for these programs and the various others that it could apply to in the state budget. Thank you.